So hello and welcome, Dr. Eugene Bagristo speaking, and today I want to record a short video for my students, but actually for any students, those who have already finished their thesis and would like to show to the whole world their results. There are two ways how you can show them. The first one, you can make a publication and publish an academic article. This would be sharing your results with the academic community, but you can also make a 3-pager, usually it's about 3 pages, with a summary of your results. And in this video, I want to show you how you approach this specific task. It is actually a great idea to show your results in a short summary on only 3 pages to the practitioners. And you have to understand that practitioners think differently. They would like to know about the quality of the study very briefly, about what the study was about very briefly. The theory is not interesting for them, and the statistical results have to be presented in a very simplified manner. And usually they have not so much time and they would like to go right to the point. And if you go to my ResearchGate, you can find under technical reports different technical reports that we did for practitioners. The first we did for the Ukrainian healthcare, not ministry, healthcare council at the city of Kryvyi Rih. And usually this report is bigger because we work with them the whole year and they receive a report on about 20 pages where we tell the stories and explain what we did, why it is important, we add some additional stuff. So you will not need them because it's something kind of too big. This one, cash versus card versus mobile payment, is interesting, but we did it for the Bundesbank and Österreichische Nationalbank, so the national banks of both countries. They are a bit more theoretic because these banks usually are equipped with researchers who would like to know the quality of the study, and then you have to go deeper into details. What I want to show you are actually the 3 reports. The first one is about the impact of indirect costs on digitization. We made a great study that actually received the Track Best Paper Award at one of the conferences, was America's Conference on Information Systems. We had the short research on the AI, and that we speak about AI much more than we applied. It was again in 2018. Now probably it would be different. But anyway, this simple report drew a lot of attention, and it has also been published in the Börsenzeitung in Germany, which is a kind of very good sign that they appreciated the quality. And finally, we have a great report on Lean Six Sigma in the financial services industry, and I want to show you how such a report looks like. So first you start with a short introduction where you explain what was the motivation of the study, and this is also a great place where you can introduce a hook, information about something, how many people withstand change and how many projects fail because of the issues that you investigated, kind of to draw attention of the reader. And then you explain what was the aim of the study and try to do it on a half a page, as you can see here, very shortly. So this report is a bit longer than usually necessary, but we didn't manage to write it shorter. Then you actually write about your study. We wrote that we have an experiment and we tried to explain in very simple terms with using simple pictures about what exactly we did in the experiment, to give an overview about what was the study about. Was the questionnaire, was an experiment, how it looked like. And again, you have only 1 page, maybe half of the page, where you have to explain it. For those of my students who run discrete choice experiments, it is a very tough task, just because you have to explain the complex methodology in simple terms, but we managed to do it, and you can follow this lead if you want to do the same. Then we come to the results, and results, you don't need to provide all the statistical values, p-values and so on. You just need to show that there were some statistically significant results. You don't need to report all of them. You need to report the most interesting, the one you want to tell a story about, the one that fits your introduction. And I assume that if you run a discrete choice experiment or an experiment or a survey, you will find a lot of different relationships, but you don't need all of them. For practitioners, you need only those that are most relevant, that are most practicable, and that are easy to understand, that they can apply immediately. And the difference to a thesis is, in a thesis we usually have the results, and then in the discussion section we have an explanation what these results mean. Here you write both the results and the explanation, so we can observe that, I don't know, that the relationship between this and that was so and so much, which implies that, and then you can say that people don't mind actually investing more resources. What they do mind is that having their slowdown of their business processes. And here it is also a good idea to use as many graphs as possible. So try not to write in words, not to introduce some statistical coefficients. people will have a problem understanding them. That's why a simple graph showing what is the percentage that is more likely, less likely that people will prefer this certain type of digitization project. And we had much more information. We decided to report only 2 of our attributes because we thought it is the most interesting, the most important one, and the rest was, let's say, interesting for science, but probably less interesting for practitioners. And we explain what actually we observe on the graph. So showing the graph needs an explanation in this event, and you write it in the results. And at the end, don't forget to make a conclusion, very short, or the summary, and make it on half of the page, summarizing the main results. Most practitioners will go to the summary first, and if they're interested by the summary, they will also read the rest of your report. And as you see, 4 pages here with a title page additionally, but yeah, this is the simple way to impress your employer, or maybe your potential employer, or just practitioners everywhere. The second study that we did was about the AI, also very simple. All the names that we just know what it is. You can see on the screen how we reported it. It's in German, but I have the third document in English. I'll show it in a second. Here, very shortly, the hook and the explanation, what was the motivation for this study. Then we immediately start with the results and showing nice graphs where you can see what actually happened with a simple explanation where AI is being used in Kreditwirtschaft and the crediting institutions, in insurance institutions, other institutions, and the average for everything. And these small things here is called the candle diagram, will add some academicality to this work. You will show that it's really academic work, because usually practitioners don't show something like this, but with this simple sign you will make it very simple, and you will simply show what is the quality of the results, and it is an academic study. So these small elements actually show how good you are. In a study, use graphs. When you describe your study, use the graphs, and also make a good sample description that, as you can see here, people see, okay, they did a questionnaire with the organizations from crediting organizations, insuring organizations, and other organizations, and we also explain what are the others. Mostly these were the software developers, because it was about the AI. Again, one more graph with explanation, third and fourth graph with explanation, but it was really interesting because the whole story of this simple report was about the incremental and radical process innovation. Short summary, and showing the most important things at the end. It was the process optimization, process innovation, or incremental process innovation, radical process innovation. What is the usage of AI in these fields? And this was actually the summary instead of a summary. There is no specific form, and you can do it as you want, but it would be a great idea if you at the end also summarize your results. So here showing what is the average for 2 things that were the key of our study, the key elements of our study. And finally, I'm going to show you another one. As we see, we put here all the logotypes that we have just to increase visibility and explain that many universities participated in this study. It was about the Lean Six Sigma in the financial industry, and we had the results mostly from Germany, and we decided to focus on them because they were much better representing the whole industry. We had also, I think, about 30 answers from the Netherlands, which is not sufficient for the external validity, so people wouldn't believe it. If we show that we asked 30 people from the Netherlands, nobody will believe it. But we had 270 people from specialists, financial specialists from Germany. That's why we decided to focus on this specific sample. And we made, again, the introduction, simple explanation, why Lean Six Sigma, because there is a debate which of the methodologies is better. That's why we described it very shortly. And then, as you can see, the main results in a very simple manner presented. Was a great report, by the way, very often downloaded from the website, people like it. We explained the quality of the samples. You can see here how many organizations were represented: banking, insurance, and other, mostly software developers or consultancies also here. The size of the firms, that people understand, okay, what kind of organizations participated in the study, the level of those people who participated, and as you can see, we have even 16 master black belts, which is incredible results. Getting master black belt is very hard, but we managed to collect data with them. And again, the main data, where we show what actually was investigated, we just say averages. Actually, we should have added here these candle diagrams, adding these standard errors or standard deviations. I would add standard errors, they look nicer. And we developed the story. What is then problematic in the implementation of Lean Six Sigma? And we focused on some of the data. The questionnaire was big, but we decided to focus on, first of all, who participated, what is the relationship between Lean Six Sigma and performance, and why do we have issues with Lean Six Sigma and its implementation. And here we noticed the main issues for the implementation of Lean Six Sigma. And again, at the end, we decided to introduce a nice profile, who is actually applying Lean Six Sigma and how it works, and in how much Lean Six Sigma leads to goal achievement. And as you can see, many organizations, really those who use Six Sigma, they achieve better their goals, like improvement in cycle times, increase of productivity, increase in quality, and so on. What can you do better? At the end, we made some suggestions, and if you have some questions, at that moment was my email address. You could have copied, you could have sent me a copy of your request, and a nice picture. Don't forget to use pictures because it's great. And we took the study, we took the words that we used in the study, and we made a nice word cloud that shows also what we do. It was a kind of instead of a summary. I hope it helps you, and I hope that after you're done with your thesis, your dissertation, you will manage to summarize the key results on 3 pages and send them to your employer, to other firms, and you will be able to position yourself much better if you have something like this. Wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.